Adventure has always been about going farther than expected, testing what is possible when confidence meets capability. But the modern explorer faces a new question: can cutting-edge electric power truly deliver the same freedom that roaring engines once promised? Across deserts, mountains, and muddy backroads, a new kind of machine is rewriting what performance, endurance, and off-road spirit really mean. It is not just about horsepower anymore, it is about precision, balance, and how technology turns raw energy into real adventure. This story follows one truck that has become the symbol of that shift, the electric pickup that has convinced lifelong off-road fans to rethink everything they thought they knew about traction and torque. Today, we are diving deep into that transformation, tracing how it started, how it evolved, and what it means for the future of outdoor performance. If you enjoy smart automotive stories that look beyond the surface, remember to like this video, subscribe for more, and comment which vehicle you want covered next. The Rivian R1T 2025 marks a turning point for electric vehicles. It is the first time an EV pickup has genuinely earned respect from hardcore off-road drivers rather than just curiosity. When Rivian first launched the R1T, it was seen as an interesting experiment, a niche product for eco-minded adventurers. But by 2025, the R1T had evolved into a refined, powerful, and purpose-built truck capable of taking on the most challenging environments in North America. The changes between the early versions and the 2025 model go deeper than a facelift or a few added features. They represent a complete understanding of what adventure truck owners actually demand in the field. Rivian knew from the start that the R1T had to prove itself where it mattered most, in the dirt, the snow, and the rock. The company's engineers focused on making the electric drivetrain not just clean but compelling. The R1T 2025 uses advanced quad-motor technology, delivering torque to each wheel independently. That means it can instantly adjust to traction loss without the lag of traditional locking differentials. While rivals still rely on mechanical engagement, Rivian's system reads the terrain through sensors and adjusts hundreds of times per second. It gives the driver the confidence to tackle steep ascents and tricky angles, even in conditions that would make older trucks hesitate. In many ways, the R1T 2025 is the result of feedback from those who used the early model in the wild. Owners who camped, climbed, and explored with the truck asked for more range, better charging options, and improved durability. Rivian responded with a larger battery pack, capable of over 400 miles under optimal conditions, fast charging that adds significant range in under half an hour, and reinforced components that handle rough terrain better than ever. These aren't just incremental upgrades, they are deliberate responses to the real-world experiences of the people who actually test vehicles in the most demanding conditions. Inside, the R1T 2025 takes a step beyond rugged practicality. Its cabin remains minimalist yet comfortable, a reflection of Rivian's belief that technology should enhance, not overwhelm. The materials are sustainable and tough, capable of handling wet boots and gear without wearing down. A large central touchscreen controls most systems, but physical controls remain for essential off-road functions. Rivian understands that dust-covered fingers and gloves are a reality in true adventure settings. The user interface is intuitive, and over-the-air updates continue to refine performance parameters, ensuring the truck feels current years after purchase. What really sets the Rivian R1T 2025 apart, however, is the driving experience. Electric trucks have an advantage in torque delivery, but Rivian's calibration takes that strength to another level. The quad-motor setup provides instant power, yet it's the finesse that impresses most. Instead of raw acceleration, the system emphasizes traction precision. When crawling over rocks or climbing steep terrain, each wheel can move independently, allowing for smooth control instead of jerky corrections. It makes technical trails feel more approachable even for less experienced drivers, while experts appreciate the precision it brings to complex maneuvers. Then there's the question of range anxiety, the one concern that often defines discussions about electric exploration. Rivian's engineers worked to neutralize this issue through smarter route planning and growing support from adventure-focused charging stations. The company invested in charging infrastructure near popular trails and national parks, creating a network that complements the truck's extended range. Combined with regenerative braking and efficient power management, the R1T 2025 proves that electric off-roading doesn't have to mean constant planning or compromise. The suspension system also plays a critical role. Rivian's adaptive air suspension allows for adjustable ride height, giving the truck up to 15 inches of clearance when needed. On rough trails, it provides flexibility. On highways, it lowers automatically to improve aerodynamics and extend range. This dual personality, capable yet refined, helps explain why the R1T 2025 appeals not just to EV fans but to traditional truck owners who value performance above all else. When it comes to towing and hauling, the R1T 2025 remains competitive with the best internal combustion options. It can handle heavy trailers with confidence, its torque providing smooth acceleration without the strain or noise of a gas engine. Yet Rivian is realistic about the trade-offs. Towing reduces range, but with careful management and route planning, it remains practical for most users. The company has continued to refine how the truck communicates range projections to the driver, factoring in terrain, weight, and even temperature to give more accurate estimates. Perhaps the most striking evolution of the 2025 model lies in its personality. Early EVs often felt sterile, but the R1T has character, quiet confidence mixed with relentless ability. It doesn't shout performance, it simply delivers it. The soft hum of the motors and the silence of nature create a new kind of off-road experience, one where you can actually hear the wind and the crunch of gravel under the tires. That sensory difference has become part of the truck's appeal. It invites owners to slow down, to enjoy the landscape without the constant background noise of an idling engine. Rivian's approach also reflects a larger cultural shift. Drivers who once equated toughness with fuel consumption are beginning to see capability through a different lens. The R1T 2025 doesn't sacrifice power for sustainability, it redefines what strength looks like. The absence of tailpipe emissions doesn't mean the absence of spirit. In fact, the truck's ability to deliver high performance without environmental guilt resonates deeply with a new generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Underneath, the R1T 2025 carries an updated battery architecture designed for durability under extreme temperature changes. Cold weather testing in Alaska and heat trials in the Mojave proved that the system remains stable even under prolonged stress. Thermal management ensures consistent power delivery and long-term battery health. The underbody is protected by thick shielding, preventing damage from rocks or debris during serious off-road runs. It is the kind of engineering that reassures both the weekend camper and the expedition leader that the truck can take punishment and keep going. Even Rivian's software approach reflects adventure thinking. The R1T 2025 uses real-time data from terrain sensors to suggest drive modes, adjusting damping, throttle sensitivity, and torque bias. Drivers can choose from multiple off-road settings, such as rock crawl, rally, or sand. These modes are not gimmicks, they fundamentally alter how the truck behaves. A rock-strewn climb feels effortless in rock crawl, while sand mode provides enough wheel spin to maintain forward momentum without bogging down. It is a masterclass in making technology invisible yet essential. As Rivian improved its build quality, owners began to use the R1T for more than weekend getaways. It has become a daily driver for many, capable of switching from rugged trail tool to comfortable commuter in an instant. The smooth ride, minimal noise, and premium interior make it suitable for urban life, while the storage solutions. The Rivian R1T 2025 is not just a vehicle, it is a platform for innovation, a statement about how electric technology can redefine purpose and possibility. To understand its deeper impact, we have to look at the philosophy driving its design. Rivian did not begin by copying the formula of existing trucks. Instead, it started with a question: what would a true adventure vehicle look like if it were built entirely around electric architecture from day one? The answer is visible in every component of the R1T 2025. Start with the chassis. The R1T's skateboard platform integrates the battery pack, suspension, and drive units into a single rigid structure. This not only improves weight distribution but also lowers the center of gravity, giving the truck exceptional stability on uneven surfaces. Because the heavy battery sits low in the frame, the truck feels planted even on steep slopes or during sharp directional changes. That composure inspires confidence, especially in off-road conditions where balance matters as much as power. But the R1T 2025 goes further. It uses its electric advantages to reshape the way drivers experience control. Each wheel's independent motor allows true torque vectoring, not simulated through brakes or software trickery but through direct mechanical input. When cornering, the system can send more power to the outer wheels to help rotate the vehicle smoothly. When climbing, it can apply precise torque to whichever wheel has the most grip. It feels organic, as if the truck reads the terrain and reacts instantly. Inside the R1T 2025, technology takes on a calmer tone. Rather than overwhelming the driver with constant data, the interface presents just enough information to enhance focus. The digital cockpit displays energy flow, suspension height, and drive mode feedback in clear, simple graphics. Over-the-air updates can introduce new features without requiring a visit to the service center. For example, future updates might improve battery efficiency, modify off-road calibration, or even introduce new user interfaces. It is the automotive equivalent of a living, learning ecosystem. Rivian's engineers also paid close attention to acoustics. Silence can reveal flaws, rattles, vibration, harsh feedback, but the R1T 2025 remains composed. The absence of engine noise makes every sound more noticeable, so the company tuned door seals, panel joints, and suspension bushings to minimize unwanted resonance. The result is a cabin that feels solid and isolated from chaos, yet still connected to the world outside. When you roll down the windows on a trail, you hear nature in full fidelity. The hum of electric motors fades into the background. Then there is the community. Rivian's customer base doesn't just buy a truck, they buy into a shared vision of exploration. Owners swap GPS routes, share charging station updates, and help test new features in beta form. This connection gives the R1T 2025 something traditional vehicles rarely achieve: a collaborative culture. The company listens closely to this feedback, using it to guide software refinements and even physical design tweaks. It turns ownership into an ongoing dialogue, where every mile contributes to the evolution of the product. The R1T 2025's energy efficiency also sparks important conversations about sustainability. Electric trucks consume more energy than smaller EVs, but Rivian offsets this by investing in renewable charging infrastructure and responsible material sourcing. The interior uses recycled materials for trim and vegan-friendly upholstery that resists stains and wear. Battery modules are designed for eventual recycling, ensuring that critical elements like nickel and lithium re-enter the supply chain instead of ending up as waste. It is a practical acknowledgement that sustainability must extend beyond tailpipe emissions. Performance-wise, the R1T 2025 remains a study in contrasts, incredibly capable, yet surprisingly composed. The truck's acceleration rivals high-performance sports cars, yet its real magic happens at low speeds on uneven ground. That is where Rivian's suspension geometry and instant torque delivery create near-effortless progress. The truck glides over obstacles rather than jolting over them, allowing the driver to maintain control with minimal effort. This smoothness redefines what off-road driving can feel like. As Rivian refined its battery technology, it also optimized charging flexibility. The R1T 2025 supports both fast DC charging for long hauls and slower, power-preserving AC charging for overnight stays. It can even provide power to external devices or other vehicles, turning it into a mobile energy hub. Imagine camping off-grid with lights, cooking equipment, and even electric bikes powered directly from your truck. This bidirectional capability transforms the R1T into a self-contained base camp, reinforcing its image as the ultimate adventure companion. One underappreciated element of the R1T 2025 is its approach to safety. traditional crash structures rely on large front engine compartments to absorb impact, Rivian rethought this for an EV. The result is a reinforced frame and crumple zones designed specifically for battery protection. Advanced driver assist systems also contribute, using radar and camera arrays to monitor surroundings and assist with obstacle detection during both highway and off-road driving. It is not just about compliance, it is about making sure the driver feels confident everywhere. The emotional side of this evolution cannot be ignored. For decades, off-road enthusiasts defined identity by the roar of engines and the smell of fuel. The R1T 2025 changes that identity without erasing it. It shows that toughness and environmental responsibility are not opposites but complementary values. When drivers reach a mountaintop and realize they did it with zero tailpipe emissions, they experience something rare, a sense of achievement that feels aligned with preservation, not opposition. Even the marketing of the R1T reflects that duality. Rivian rarely relies on traditional commercials. It showcases real owners tackling real challenges. The authenticity resonates with an audience tired of exaggerated claims. The 2025 version, in particular, has become a poster child for practical progress, technology that serves adventure rather than distracts from it. At the engineering level, Rivian's decision to maintain a dual-motor and quad-motor option reveals its flexibility. Not everyone needs 4 motors, and not everyone wants to pay for them. The dual-motor configuration offers plenty of power while reducing cost and complexity. Yet, even that version retains much of Rivian's character: strong torque, adaptive suspension, and an intelligent control system that preserves balance. This balance between choice and capability shows that Rivian understands both enthusiast and mainstream buyers. Another defining feature is the truck's modular design. The R1T 2025 supports future upgrades, including potential hardware changes that can be installed by certified service centers. This modularity extends the truck's life cycle, reducing waste and improving long-term value. Rivian's aim is to make its vehicles as relevant in 10 years as they are today, through both hardware adaptability and continuous software evolution. The Rivian R1T 2025 stands at the intersection of technology and tradition, and its cultural impact reaches far beyond the garage. As more owners take these trucks into national parks, mountain passes, and unpaved wilderness routes, a quiet transformation is taking place in the off-road community. The soundscape of exploration is changing. Instead of the rumble of engines, there is a low electric hum followed by silence. That silence has power. It allows nature to remain undisturbed while still giving drivers the thrill of mechanical precision and control. Off-road clubs, once dominated by diesel and gasoline icons, are beginning to open their ranks to electric machines. The R1T 2025 has helped make that shift possible, proving that performance and environmental awareness can coexist. At organized events, Rivian owners often arrive early and leave late, powering campsites, tools, and cooking gear directly from their trucks. What used to require generators now runs quietly on stored electricity. The experience feels different but not diminished. It is a new kind of independence built on self-sufficiency and respect for the environment. As infrastructure evolves, so too does the perception of what electric exploration means. Charging stations are now appearing along scenic byways and remote highways, often powered by solar arrays. Rivian's own adventure network contributes to this ecosystem, creating a safety net that reassures drivers they can venture farther without fear of being stranded. Each new station is a signal that adventure travel in the EV era is not a dream but an attainable lifestyle. The R1T 2025 serves as the ambassador for this reality, bridging the gap between pioneers and mainstream drivers. For outdoor professionals, guides, park rangers, and researchers, the Rivian R1T 2025 offers practical advantages. The torque and control make it ideal for rescue support, trail maintenance, and scientific expeditions. With zero tailpipe emissions, it can operate in sensitive ecosystems where combustion engines are restricted. Its onboard power capabilities mean teams can run equipment, charge drones, or power lights without bringing additional fuel. It is not only a vehicle for adventure but also a tool for conservation. Economically, the rise of electric off-roading also fuels new industries. Businesses are developing lightweight charging solutions, portable solar mats, and EV-compatible camping gear. Communities near trailheads are recognizing that EV tourism brings consistent traffic without the noise and pollution associated with traditional vehicles. The R1T 2025 indirectly stimulates these local economies, reinforcing the idea that sustainability and profitability can align. But the deeper change lies in attitude. The Rivian R1T 2025 challenges the long-standing belief that environmental responsibility requires compromise. Its performance demonstrates that reducing emissions does not mean reducing excitement. In many cases, it enhances it. When you can climb a rock face in near silence or cross a creek without fumes, the connection between machine and environment feels more authentic. Drivers report a renewed sense of respect for the landscapes they traverse because they are now participants, not intruders. In terms of design influence, the R1T 2025 has already left its mark. Competing automakers have started rethinking how to integrate modular power systems, adaptive software, and sustainable materials into their own trucks. Rivian's focus on utility rather than excess, like the integrated camp kitchen and gear tunnel, has shifted priorities across the industry. It reminds engineers that functionality can still feel aspirational. Every feature of the R1T exists for a reason, and that clarity resonates with consumers who value purpose over spectacle. There is also a subtle generational factor. Younger drivers, many of whom grew up surrounded by climate discussions, see the R1T 2025 as proof that progress can be adventurous. For them, electric power is not a novelty, it is the baseline. They view the truck as a bridge between environmental consciousness and personal freedom. Owning it is not about status, it is about alignment with values. Rivian's ability to connect technology with identity is one reason the brand enjoys loyalty that feels more like community than consumerism. Culturally, the R1T 2025 also plays a symbolic role in redefining masculinity in truck culture. It replaces the traditional imagery of aggression with one of competence and balance. Strength is no longer measured by volume or emissions but by capability and control. The absence of engine noise shifts focus to skill. It becomes about how well you navigate the landscape, not how loud you can announce your arrival. In that way, Rivian has not just built a truck, it has reshaped the narrative of what it means to be an explorer. At a societal level, the R1T 2025 contributes to the normalization of electric mobility. Each owner who drives it across states, through towns, or onto trails becomes an ambassador for the technology. The truck's visibility in remote settings helps dispel myths about EV limitations. When a vehicle can power through snow, mud, and rock without hesitation, it challenges stereotypes that electric power equals fragility. The more people witness it, the faster perceptions evolve. Of course, challenges remain. Infrastructure expansion must keep pace with growing demand, and the cost of entry still places the R1T 2025 beyond reach for some consumers. But even here, Rivian's example serves as a catalyst. As more competitors enter the market, prices will normalize, and technology will spread. What was once premium becomes standard, just as all-wheel drive or anti-lock brakes did decades ago. The R1T's early success accelerates that timeline. Another emerging trend inspired by Rivian's approach is the concept of regenerative adventure. It is the idea that travel can leave places better than they were found. With the R1T 2025, owners can participate in cleanup drives, power community events, or support environmental monitoring projects, all directly from their vehicles. The capability to deliver clean, portable power makes such initiatives feasible. It transforms adventure from a personal pursuit into a collective contribution. The quiet revolution continues in how media portrays off-road exploration. Where once videos focused on roaring engines and flying dirt, now creators showcase serene vistas and subtle tire tracks in the dust. The R1T 2025 is often the centerpiece of these stories because it symbolizes the coexistence of progress and preservation. The message is not that we must give up adventure but that we can experience it more responsibly. In the end, what the Rivian R1T 2025 truly represents is trust. Trust that technology can elevate rather than replace authenticity. Drivers trust that electric systems will perform when it counts. Communities trust that new mobility can coexist with tradition. And Rivian trusts its customers to shape the future alongside it. The result is an ecosystem built on shared ambition. As charging networks grow, as more trails open to electric vehicles, and as adventure culture adapts, the R1T 2025 stands as the catalyst. It reminds us that the road to the future is not paved entirely with asphalt. Sometimes, it is covered in dirt, gravel, and possibility. The story of the Rivian R1T 2025 comes full circle with a lesson that reaches far beyond specifications or sales figures. This truck began as a question: could electric power truly satisfy the needs of people who measure performance not by lap times but by how far they can travel off the grid? In just a few short years, it has answered that question with clarity. The R1T 2025 is not a compromise between sustainability and capability. It is the proof that one can enhance the other. What makes its legacy profound is how it changed expectations. Before the R1T, the idea of an electric pickup capable of serious off-road work seemed unrealistic. Now it feels inevitable. By delivering precision torque, adaptive suspension, and intelligent range management, Rivian established a new reference point for what adventure trucks should offer. The 2025 model refined those strengths, smoothing early edges and introducing features that directly addressed real-world needs. It showed that innovation does not always mean invention from scratch. Sometimes it means perfecting the essentials until they feel effortless. For drivers, the R1T 2025 experience is less about domination and more about connection. It enables exploration without intrusion, strength without excess. Owners describe the sense of quiet control that comes from electric torque as something liberating. The vehicle seems to disappear beneath you, letting the environment take center stage. That shift, from conquering terrain to engaging with it, may be the most important cultural impact of all. It redefines what adventure means in an age when sustainability is no longer optional but expected. The R1T's influence will ripple through design studios and engineering teams for years. Future trucks will borrow its architecture, adapt its software philosophy, and chase its balance between function and emotion. Even competitors that once dismissed electric propulsion now study Rivian's methods closely. The idea that an EV can lead the conversation in off-road capability is no longer radical, it is the new standard. Economically, the R1T 2025 has also proven that purpose-built electric vehicles can thrive without relying solely on volume sales. Rivian's focus on community and direct engagement created loyalty that translates into long-term stability. Its owners are not just consumers, they are advocates who expand the brand's presence through real-world use. This grassroots credibility has become as valuable as any marketing campaign. For the broader EV movement, the R1T 2025 provides something equally essential: inspiration. It demonstrates that electric vehicles can be aspirational for reasons beyond efficiency. They can embody freedom, adventure, and personal identity. That emotional dimension may be what finally bridges the gap between early adopters and mainstream buyers. When technology connects to passion, change accelerates naturally. Looking ahead, Rivian faces challenges: scaling production, refining costs, and continuing innovation. But those challenges are the kind that follow success, not uncertainty. The groundwork laid by the R1T 2025 ensures that future models, whether larger, smaller, or more specialized, will inherit a proven formula. Each new generation will carry forward the same principle, that sustainability and strength are not separate paths but parallel lanes on the same road. In the world of automotive progress, few vehicles manage to shift perception so completely. The Rivian R1T 2025 did exactly that. It showed that silence can feel powerful, that precision can replace noise, and that innovation can respect tradition while surpassing it. Every time a driver quietly ascends a mountain trail or powers a campsite beneath the stars, they are living proof of what this truck set out to achieve. As the journey continues, the R1T's legacy will not be measured by sales charts alone but by how it changed the conversation about what a truck can be. It invited skeptics to experience possibility firsthand and left them reconsidering what they thought they knew about performance. That, in the end, is the mark of true transformation. Adventure has a new sound now, one that hums softly, carries far, and leaves no trace behind. And it all began with the Rivian R1T 2025, a truck that didn't just go off-road, it took the entire industry off the beaten path and into a future built on quiet strength and enduring purpose.